name?
Egan.
I'm Bowser Jr., and I'm gonna be taking my father now!
Well, I just got back from watching the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and boy, are my eyes tired. Somewhere between a black hole, a talking star, and Mario committing interstellar trespassing, Super Mario Galaxy the movie manages to answer the old age question: what if gravity was optional? And Luigi still got the end of the stick.
Yes, I am! People don't change!
Opens with a bang. It pretty much doesn't stop, which I was okay with. Some of the negative critic reviews that I was seeing all said the same similar thing, that it was pretty frenetic, didn't have a whole lot of story, but it definitely grabs you while you're watching it. Someone like me who has ADHD, and then I was there with my niece and nephew, and they both have it because all kids have ADHD now. Even they agreed themselves that, yeah, it was a bit too much. It moved blazingly fast. There were barely any downtime whatsoever for any types of conversation.
Let's go.
But before I put on my Tanuki suit and dive further into my review, if I could quickly ask you to like and subscribe and to share. It really helps a Super Mario brother out, and it goes a long way. Now slap on your favorite Mario hat and let's jump down this green pipe that is the madness of the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
What's up, Mario?
Let's go.
The movie kicks off with Rosalina. We meet her first. A giant three-legged robot appears to kidnap her. So we only get to meet Rosalina for about 5 seconds, and all the little baby Lumas is apparently the mother to of all these floaty star thingies. So we're only 2 minutes in. Rosalina has already been kidnapped by Bowser Jr. So Mario and Luigi are called to inspect a disturbance in the desert town of Tostarena, where they meet and befriend who had hatched in Brooklyn and was pursued back to his home after breaking a dinosaur skeleton. I don't know the whole Yoshi backstory, but where did this egg actually come from? Did it magically appear out of nowhere like Immaculate Conception? Or did some giant dinosaur creature of some sort drop it in the sewer and then take off? Maybe Yoshi is related to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yoshi.
We don't know. But in Peach and Toad's absence, Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi protect the Mushroom Kingdom as they attempt to rehabilitate Bowser. Still has a lot of rage issues go through, as we see that scene that was also in the trailer of Bowser living in a mini version of his own castle. Him and Luigi get along. Mario not so much, still doesn't trust him, and for good reason.
I'll burn the skin off your bones!
My screenwriter movie nerd brain can't turn off, and all I can think about is how is it that Mario and Luigi just have these powers now? Does living in the Mushroom Kingdom just automatically imbue you with powers? Do they go back to the Earth realm at all anymore, or do they just live there now? I'm like, what happened to Mario and Luigi's family that we saw in the first movie? Do they just know that they live there now, or do they think that they're missing? These are the weird, annoying backstory things that other people might not care about.
Don't worry about it.
Rosalina sends a Luma to the Mushroom Kingdom and enlists Peach and Toad for help. And Peach immediately just takes off. This little Luma turns into one of those giant stars that are from the Super Mario Galaxy games. She just jumps in it. And it's almost like these people are insane. They just show up and this Luma says that your sister is missing. Peach is just like, okay. And then her and Todd just jump on this big giant star and are spit out into space. I mean, if that was me, I'd be freaking out. I've jumped on this giant star thingy and now I'm flying towards space. I'd be all worried that I was going to blow up or something. Bowser Jr. shows up and lifts all of Peach's castle into space. Like, straight up just uses lasers to pull the entire castle out of the ground in an attempt to free his father. But then a battle with the brothers and Yoshi causes the ship to drop the castle into the Honey Hot Galaxy. And it's stuffing so many different Easter eggs in, it almost can't even fit it all in there. Even though it's cartoon violence, when Bowser Jr. kidnaps Rosalina at her Comet Observatory, he straight up shoots missiles, those angry growling missiles that you see in all the games, at her house with all the Lumas. They don't actually blow up because Rosalina saves them. Bowser Jr. doesn't screw around. He straight up just wants to blow up this entire building. Bowser is still the small version. He goads Mario into attacking him, which for some reason unshrinks him back to his normally size, but he actually offers to be arrested in exchange for the brothers and Yoshi. So he actually gets abducted by his son, and he hasn't seen in years because I guess Bowser isn't the best dad ever.
You don't say!
This results in the only really interesting part of the whole movie is the relationship between Bowser and Bowser Jr. getting reacquainted. And Bowser Jr. is like what Bowser used to be, all evil and wants to take over the world. Eventually he turns, which we're not really surprised. I could tell from the trailer that we knew that he would go back to regular size and assumed he'd just become a bad guy again. But at the same time, even that's still muddied in the fact that, okay, is he 100% still a bad guy now once we get to the end? In the Gateway Galaxy, Peach and Toad try to look for Rosalina after obtaining Toad's backpack, because this monkey thief named Yukiki, who works for Wart,
You're going to regret that.
a Toad-like casino owner for whom they extract Rosalina's location. So somehow they end up in this galaxy, and then he finds Wart, and it's also just the Frog King from Super Mario 2, voiced by Luis Guzman. It's kind of too bad he wasn't in the movie more, because I always enjoyed Luis Guzman. But I'm sure there's going to be a third Super Mario, so who knows, maybe they'll return in that. So Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi are reunited with Peach and Toad, who in the meantime have actually hired Fox McCloud to transport the group. So Fox kind of shows up, but he definitely feels like he's jammed in there in terms of stuffing new characters in there that potentially set up another movie or a spin-off or the Super Smash movie that they're likely going to make. Of course, Fox's ship crashes to Fossil Falls after a pretty frenetic, energetic shootout in space, which of course has lots of Star Fox references with barrel rolling and shooting and doing exactly the thing that Fox's spaceship does in the games. Bowser Jr. uses a super scope, which turns Mario and Luigi into babies. I had a SNES, but I never had a super scope. Is there some game that you can use a super scope to turn them into babies? I know that in Yoshi's Island, there's a baby Mario in it. Moment of them as their babies only lasts for about 5 minutes. So again, they kind of stuff in this tiny little moment from the games that only has like 5 minutes of screen time. They get back to regular size and then that's it. Bowser does express some regret after double crossing Mario and Luigi, but he's inspired to return to his old ways to mend his relationship with his son. Somehow Bowser Jr. has amassed this gigantic floating base and this huge spaceship that can suck entire castles out of the ground. And there's no explanation or backstory to how Bowser Jr. just has access to all of this. How is it that Bowser's essential advisor, Kamek, Magic Koopa, serving as informant from the first movie, is now suddenly with Bowser Jr.? But how Bowser Jr. even knew that his dad was now captured, that's likely the only way he would have known. But it doesn't take Bowser long to go back to his old ways. Peach finally learns her own backstory, where she has the same powers as Rosalina, and they were born from stardust, whatever that actually means. And Rosalina sent an infant Peach into the Mushroom Kingdom to protect her from an unidentified attacker. So there's a small backstory moment where Peach and Rosalina are just on this tiny little rock of a planet. Suddenly, they just make things grow everywhere. And it's just another weird little backstory moment of like, how do they just have these powers? Why did Rosalina just immediately throw her younger sister down this green pipe? The way they framed it in the movie, it almost looked like Rosalina didn't know what this pipe was or where it goes. But she was just like, well, I don't know where else to put her, so I'll just throw her down this green pipe. To me, it wasn't 100% clear that Rosalina knew where this pipe actually went to. Mario teams up with Rosalina, the calmest cosmic goddess you've ever seen since your therapist told you to just breathe. And she has an army of Lumas, the adorable star children who look like they sell plushies faster than Nintendo can print money. The plot loosely follows the structure of the Mario Galaxy game, but with more emotional beats, including Rosalina's heartfelt backstory, Mario immediately discovering gravity physics through zero trial or error. It just suddenly he knows how to fly around in space and ride Yoshi, and Bowser goes full space tyrant.
Let's go.
The comedy is that same perfect Nintendo tone from the first movie, where there aren't any real laugh out loud moments. Essentially, I was just chuckling and tittering here and there. There weren't any actual guffaws. Bowser delivers monologues like a dad who just rediscovered villainy as a hobby. Chris Pratt only sounded slightly Italian. Charlie Day as Luigi didn't sound Italian at all. It was like Charlie Day couldn't decide if he was Italian or not. Some scenes he would sound super Italian.
Hi, I'm Luigi.
And then other scenes he wouldn't sound Italian at all.
Not the scared guy anymore.
So they didn't really change their voices. It'd be nice if they made a bit more of an effort to sound more Italian. Or maybe that was too racist, or they thought it would be offensive for them to be over Italian.
Let's go.
But the visuals are pretty stunning, just like the first movie. But of course, as it being a few years ago, the effects, the digital effects, the computer animation effects are a whole lot better. The lighting was a lot better. On the close-ups, there was actually a better lighting system with shadows and whatnot to make them look more 3D. I mean, they have planets that were the size of golf balls, but their own ecosystems. Gravity shifts that make Inception look like a tutorial level. And Starfield's so pretty, you briefly forget the almost non-existent plot exists. But every scene felt like it was designed by someone who said, what if we made space just a lot more whimsical? Got a little philosophical. There's the themes of loneliness, found family, and cosmic cycles. Rosalina is basically running a space daycare while contemplating her existence. Mario proves that determination can solve literally anything. It's like if a children's movie accidentally read Nietzsche and said, let's keep it cute though.
Let's go.
Of course, there's lots of Easter eggs and references. So many references that I don't even know them all because the last Mario game I actually ever played was Galaxy, and that was 2007.
I baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
Reading the letter, and they frame it just like the opening of Super Mario 64, and even ends it with
Peach.
Because this movie is a barrage of images, it's a barrage of Easter eggs. Even the Illumination logo that they show at the opening had a little tiny nod towards the first time Mario appeared in the Donkey Kong game. Love letter to fans. Launch stars are everywhere, and Mario still screams like he's on a cosmic roller coaster every time. Penguins are still judging your swimming skills. The soundtrack sneaks in all the different orchestral versions of Gusty Garden Galaxy and Good Egg Galaxy and lots of other musical cues from all different games. From Super Mario to Super Mario 2 to 3, even Mario Sunshine. The Comet Observatory is carefully recreated, including the library scene that longtime fans know hits like a blue shell to the soul. There's even a blink and you miss a reference to Yoshi's Star Galaxy. Yoshi shows up, eats something he shouldn't, and saves the day. The amount of references are somewhat overwhelming, as is the movie with its constant barrage, and it doesn't really take a moment to chill. Is a good and a bad thing. If you're someone like me, I didn't mind it because it kept my attention. Even though I was sitting in these nice recliner chairs that the movie had, starting to nod off a little, because I can't not sit in a recliner and nod off a little.
Let's go.
But is the movie perfect? Of course not. There's the pacing issues, but only the fact that it was nonstop. Mario and Luigi didn't really have a whole lot of story other than the fact that Mario's still pretty much the same and Luigi's still a bit of a wimp. There was slight movement ahead on the relationship between Peach and Mario because obviously Mario likes her. It's not a surprise. But I thought this would be the movie where they officially kind of become a couple, if they even were a couple in the games. But the most that even happens is that they touch hands once. Peach gives him a little peck on the cheek near the end of the movie.
Swing!
The voice acting itself was fine across the board, minus what I said earlier with I thought that Pratt and Day could have been a little bit more Italian sounding. One of my biggest issues with the story is that everything felt like a Deus Ex Machina moment. Whatever it was that the hero needed at that exact moment, they would just get. Anytime they needed help or assistance or something that helped them get out of the situation, they just magically figure out how to get out of that situation. Flashback with Rosalina and Peach. Weird floating planet, and then all of a sudden, Rosalina just throws her down this pipe that shows up out of nowhere.
Emotional, damn it!
Let's go.
Visual spectacle, nostalgia bomb for all fans of the Super Mario games, young and old. A surprisingly emotional beat between Bowser and Bowser Jr. I still think it could have been funnier, as it definitely plays way more for kids' movies. Most kids' movies usually have moments in it that are good for the parents. They have jokes that the parents get and jokes that the kids get. But in this movie, like the first one, it's just 100% a kid movie with pretty basic, not even really funny jokes. More slapsticky jokes than anything funny that they say with their mouths. The movie isn't perfect, but I still enjoyed it. I like the first one a lot more. This wasn't bad in any way, but it really kind of needed to chill. There was no real all is lost moment. I mean, we always know that the hero will win in the end. For Mario or Luigi, there was never an actual moment where I really felt like the heroes were in any real kind of danger. The movie just kind of ends so quickly, it didn't even give us time to have a resolution. Basically, like a minute or two, Peach pecks Mario on the cheek and he gets some type of flag and flies to the top of the castle, because they remade Peach's castle, but they just rebuilt the entire castle. Cut to some 16-bit SNES versions of Mario, of them making the castle. In Mario Land, it only takes about 2 minutes to rebuild an entire castle. The nostalgic Easter egg references were non-stop. There was 2 post-credit scenes, and this one was of Bowser and Bowser Jr. in prison, where they terrified discover their new guard is Luma Lee, the sinister blue star from the first film that was in prison, and hinting at a potential standalone Star Fox movie or Super Smash Bros. Crossover. Final post-credit scene where the thieving Yukiki monkey is punched by a mysterious figure as it's trying to steal someone else's bag, revealing the debut of Princess Daisy, wearing her iconic yellow dress, which sets up a likely third film focusing on her relationship with Luigi. Princess Daisy debuted in the 1989 Game Boy game Super Mario Land as ruler of Sarah Saland. When I was watching the post-credit scene with my niece and nephew, my nephew immediately was like, as soon as he saw the Daisy's gloved fist comes off screen and hits the monkey in the face, we don't see who it is first, but my nephew immediately was like, that's Daisy. It's like, who's Daisy? I've never heard of her. They cut to Daisy and then the movie is over. Mario and Luigi had slightly less screen time than other characters. It always absolutely captures magic of the Nintendo games while expanding on the universe in a way that feels earned. My rating for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, 6.5 out of 10 power stars. I think it could have been better. I did not like Bowser Jr. at all, though he is the bad guy, but you do feel for him during the movie, as he is essentially just a kid who wants to reconnect with his dad. But I didn't think Benny Safdie, the voice actor, did anything interesting with the voice at all.
I demand that you release my father.
So that's it. That's my review of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I did enjoy it, though I liked the first movie better. There was definitely going to be a Super Mario 3, but what are they going to call it? Are they going to call it Super Mario Galaxy 2? Are they going to take the name from another Super Mario game? Is this going to be the new theme for every movie, where they're going to name it after a game? But what could they call it? Could they call it Super Mario Sunshine? I don't know if that would make sense for the name of a third Super Mario movie. So if you've ever long jumped into the void but missed a floating platform, this movie is for you. In space, no one can hear you say, but Mario does it anyway. Keep gaming.